Brihat Bhagavatam.
My pranams, Mataji.
Pranams to Mataji. This is supposed to be Zoom live only, Mataji, like our morning prayers. I did not stop you from the bhajan. So just made it only
Very
Zoom
beautiful,
live.
yeah.
Yeah. That we know, all of you can be at ease. And then just here, if you can. So I'm going to read. Going to continue Brihat Bhagavatam Kritam. So, Prahlad Maharaj sent Narada Muni to Hanuman. And Hanuman was in Kim Purusha Varsha. And he was worshipping a deity, Lord Ram's deity. And he was worshipping with such great attention, as if Lord Ram is there. Of course, Lord Ram is there for Hanuman. So, Narada Muni bowed down before the deity and then sat in a seat carefully arranged by Hanuman. Narada, wealthy with the wonderful opulence of pure devotional love, sounded his veena and said, "You are in truth the object of the incomparable great mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You are always plunged in the very wonderful nectar ocean of pure devotional service to the Supreme Lord. You are the Lord's servant, friend, chariot, sitting place, flag, parasol, awning, fan, poet to offer prayers, counselor, military commander, and most helpful assistant. You always chant the Lord's transcendental glories. You have offered yourself to Lord Ramachandra without any reservation. You are the object of his great mercy. The narration of his glories is your life and soul. You bring great transcendental bliss to the devotees who have taken shelter of him. You are eternally more glorious than Garuda and all the other devotees of the Lord. Because you are a pure devotee, and because you do not consider anything better than the happiness of pure devotional service, you spoke to the Supreme Lord, who is the crest jewel of all generous philanthropists, the following words which bring great happiness to the devotees. So what did Hanuman say? "O Lord, you are the master and I am your servant. I do not desire any liberation from the bonds of repeated birth and death that will also break our relationship. I do not desire any liberation from the bonds of repeated birth and death." These devotees, they cannot be understood by the materialists, because the materialists, they do the tapasya to get these material benefits, and the devotees do the tapasya to get rid of the material benefits, only to have the Lord. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. When everybody is running after the material opulences, are ready to do anything for the material opulences, the devotees are running after Krishna, away from the material opulences. Who in the world can do that? So many personalities have gone through austerities, like Hiranyakashipu. The extent of his austerities, all that is for what? Material opulence. And a devotee? A devotee? The same material opulence that Hiranyakashipu strived for. with his skeleton, life in the skeleton. Devotee just trashes that material opulence, trashes the material opulence, and Daigitawa Pache Pache runs for Krishna. Devotees cannot be understood by materialists. So, Sri Parikshit said, for Hanuman, hearing this description of the great mercy of the Lord's lotus feet became a spark that ignited a great fire of the pain of separation from the Lord. Hanuman lamented and cried. Narada Muni comforted him. Hanuman then said, I'm very unhappy because I no longer have the lotus feet of Lord Ramachandra. O best of the sages, why do you make me cry by reminding me of his cruelty to me? If I'm his servant, then why did he abandon me? When he took Sugriva, the residents of Ayodhya, and many other dear devotees to his side. Because you are very affectionate to me, you think that because I had the good fortune to serve the Supreme Lord directly, therefore he is very merciful to me. Now, the supremely opulent and powerful Lord has descended to Mathura city, where he gives his mercy to the great Pandavas. The mercy he gives to me cannot be compared to even the smallest fragment of that mercy. It is like a pebble compared to Mount Sumeru. So Hanuman is saying, my Lord Ramachandra left me behind and left. And he left. But the same Lord is now with Pandavas. And their mercy is great. So by sending them so many troubles since their early childhood, the Lord has shown to the world their patience, adherence to religious principles, fame, transcendental knowledge, pure devotion, and spiritual love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Personality of Godhead became their chariot driver, companion, servant, counselor, messenger, God, and follower. The Lord even offered prayers to them and bowed down before them. Yeah, that's true. Lord Krishna, he did that all. The Supreme Lord is overcome with love for them. The Lord is overcoming with love for the devotees. Yeah, so beautiful, two-sided. The Lord is always there, doing his part. Yeah, he's always there doing his part. So what will he not do for them? He has become their servant, friend, and most affectionate well-wisher. The Lord is so busy and constantly trying to reach out to us in so many different ways to attract our attention. We should be doing that, but the Lord is doing it. Poor Lord, it has been only one-sided for him since we turned away. It has been only one-sided love for him. He is the Lord and he is trying. Because the Lord always resides with them, their capital has become like a sacred forest where great sages perform austerities. Residence in their capital now brings the results of all austerities. Sri Parikshit said, as Sri Narada heard these words, he yearned to reside eternally in Dwaraka and always stay by the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Narada loudly shouted, rose again and again into the sky, and danced with joy in his heart. Hanuman became blissful by seeing Narada dance. his heart plunged in the nectar of Pandava's story. Hanuman again and again described their glories. Oh, how beautiful these devotees. They are plunged in the nectar of other devotees' glory and their fortune. That's so beautiful. So beautiful. Because there is no I and my there. So it's all about the glory. The host of calamities that befell the Pandavas were very auspicious for them. These calamities made Lord Krishna anxious for the safety of the Pandavas, and at once brought Lord Krishna into their company. And this is why Queen Kunti, what did she say? Vipada santata shashvat tatra tatro jagat guru bhavatu adarshanam yatsha apunar bhavadarshanam. Let those vipat come. We don't ask the pain to go away. We want you. We want you, my Lord. O Pandavas, you have become overpowered by love and no longer know how to do what is right. You have made my Lord into your messenger and chariot driver. O Pandavas, you must know a very powerful magic spell or possess a very powerful potion to bring others under your control. O mother, O celebrated wife of Abhimanyu, after speaking these words, Hanuman began to jump again and again. For a long time, he danced with Narada Muni. Then he said, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, O Lord, overwhelmed with love for your devotees, O Lord, whose transcendental activities attract your devotees' hearts, this is the way you act. So sweet is Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Sanatana Goswami. This kind of literature. The signature of Gaurachandra is right here. All the Gaura Priyajana in their literature is Gauranga Mahaprabhu. All this is reminding of, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, his Leelas in Chaitanya Bhagavata. So beautiful. Look at those words. How, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, O Lord, overwhelmed with love for your devotees. What scripture in the world would give this kind of description of the quality of the Lord? O Lord, overwhelmed with love for your devotees. No wonder the Lord would like to hear these words again and again. He must be tired of hearing all those Vedic hymns. So, it is my great good fortune that in the middle of the sons of Kunti, the Pandavas, is my dear younger brother, Bhimasena. Bhima. Okay. Out of kindness and friendship, the Lord gave his own sister in marriage to Arjuna, who carries a flag whose insignia is a likeness of me. Yeah, Hanuman is present on the flag of Arjuna's chariot. Without the transcendental mercy of they who are very dear to the Lord, the loving service of the Lord's servants will not be successful. This is so beautiful. Want to read this again. Without the transcendental mercy of they who are very dear to the Lord, the loving service of the Lord's servants will not be successful. That service will not bear any good fruit. This actually reminds me of one thing very significant. How a living guru is really a key for the transmission of all that mercy. Yeah. O best of the devotees, O most dear favorite of the Lord, let us go there to see them. The transcendental opulence, sweetness, and wonder that is very difficult for Brahma, Shiva, and the other demigods to understand. And that increases the love of the devotees. And that had not been revealed when the Lord appeared in Ayodhya, is now displayed in Madura and Dwaraka. Sri Narada said, this sweetness and opulence is not manifested even in Vaikuntha. What to speak of Ayodhya? Rise, rise, friend, let us quickly go there. At that moment, Hanuman became as grave as the ocean. He reflected within himself for a moment, sighed, bowed down, and then said to Narada, it is right for us to go to see and serve the most dear devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The sweetness of great mercy the Lord displays now is greater and more profound than what he had shown in the past. The supremely charming and wonderful waves of the Lord's present transcendental pastimes have bewildered even the most learned and intelligent of the sages. Even Brahma, the father of you and your exalted brothers, the grandfather of all the worlds, and the original teacher of the Vedas, is bewildered by these pastimes as Lord Shri Krishna. If even he becomes bewildered, then what can be said about unintelligent monkeys like myself? Even when Brahma is bewildered, you can easily understand the Lord's activities, but I fear I will commit an offense. The Lord's wonderful transcendental pastimes increase the love and devotion of the devotees. These pastimes are the final destination of they who repose all their love in the Lord alone and in no one else. This is so nice. These pastimes are the final destination of they who repose all their love in the Lord alone and in no one else. Because there is only one Priti Vastu, Krishna. Yeah. Okay. I pray that for Lord Ramachandra, whose heart is naturally soft with sincere compassion, who is honest and righteous, who has taken a vow to accept only one wife, whose face and eyes are always bowed down with great humility and shyness, whose good character delights the world, who is the monarch of Ayodhya city, who is the greatest of all kings, who is served by Sita and Lakshmana, who is the elder brother of Bharata, who is the dear friend of Sugriva, who is the ruler of the monkeys, who is the shelter of Vibhishana, who holds a bow in his hand, who is the son of Dhritarashtra and Kaushalya, and who is the great king of the Raghu dynasty. May my devotional love always increase. I shall simply stay here, gaze at the deity form of Lord Rama, and drink the nectar of his pastimes. When Lord Krishna, out of his great mercy, may call me to give me the great transcendental happiness of the opportunity to serve him, will he, out of love for me, show me the form of Lord Rama? that is more dear to me than life. Sri Hanuman is so much attached to his Lord Ramachandra. So when the Lord reveals himself as Ramachandra, I shall go to him at once. Now you please go to the Pandavas, and in their palace see the Supreme Brahman, whose transcendental form is like that of a human being, who is full of transcendental bliss, who is beyond the touch of the words and thoughts of the sages, who is very charming and who is a great jewel mine of the sweetness of wonderful transcendental pastimes. Don't become an offender thinking we are celibate brahmacharis and they're only household like kshatriyas ruling a kingdom. So Hanuman is warning Narada Muni. By serving the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, they have become free from all desire for material sense gratification. Their lotus feet are worshipped by the leaders of swan-like devotees. I think this will continue 16. Yeah, we'll continue this later. That's 1:16. There is more that Hanuman has to say before Narada goes to Dwaraka. So we'll pause here. So tomorrow, text 1:16. That's in page 14. Okay. So Hanuman ki jai, Narada Muni ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samved Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.